So then where was the waters in Genesis 1?
What does that have to do with anything?
If you want to speak the truth
Yeah.
and the way how we understand the world,
Mm-hmm.
where does the truth of waters come in?
The fact that we don't understand things about this world doesn't change the fact that they occur.
Okay, so we understand plants though.
Do we? Do we understand things?
Okay, and so here's my point on if I no, let me back up. Here's my one point. With me not being able to get into a young earth mindset of that the word is
Oh,
or-
why not? Why not? Wait,
Hold on.
wait,
You
wait.
shut up. How Genesis 1 was 7 days, was made in 24 hours. We have no reason to continue this topic because I know that we can't get into the mind of her. To continue the topic of evolution because we know that she's just going to throw back looking at, look at Genesis 1 and we can't go any farther.
Just stating the facts.
What facts?
I don't know, we haven't brought up any actual topics, so I don't have any facts to throw back at you. So,
Well, here, we're
do
talking
you
about a
believe
topic.
in evolution or do you believe in creation?
You could have both. Yeah, you can. Okay, so you say that God can't do anything.
No.
So explain to
I'm
me.
saying, why would he?
So
why
explain
would-
to me
I'm
all
sa-
the fossils.
I'm saying he can do everything. But I'm also saying, why would he stretch it over millions and millions of years if he literally can do it in 7 days?
You could have done it faster than 7 days.
Why would he? Why would he call it 7 days in the Bible if he would have just done it a different way?
Well, if we're saying why would he make
It's
everyone
easier
have a
to
chance to
understand.
live or die
Exactly.
for him?
You should take
Why
the
would
easy
he?
way out.
Why did he make the 2 trees? Huh? Tell me why.
Because
You-
it would be unfair if God gave us a choice, but then no choices. God would not be a just God if he gave us a choice, but then no choices.
But then why make us? There's so many questions of why come out then.
Oh my gosh. Why make us, bro? You just want to get into every little nook and cranny
Says
of
you.
the Lord's
Says you lower
head. And instead of looking at what we do know and distinguishing evolution from creation.
Well, because with
We're still figuring out things about this world. Nothing's set in stone. Well, I mean, if you,
but
there's
with,
ultimately only one truth.
well, we're also slowly understanding this world more and more.
Yeah.
And you're the one who said that God gives us wisdom, and
I didn't say that. The Bible said that.
no, you said that.
I said the Bible says that.
Okay, so the Bible says that.
Technically, only I said that. And stated it.
No, and then you constantly kept going on it.
Yeah.
We could go back to the footage on that one day.
I did. I've watched the footage like 10 times.
Okay. And so we might be gaining more and more wisdom, noticing that, well, you pulled up a lot of stuff that was more like hundreds of years ago. Even though,
What stuff?
huh?
What's that?
It's just like how the world's only 24-hour days old.
I didn't say that the world was only 7 24 hours days old.
Was created in 7 24-hour days.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have that.
But why, like, why? I'm just asking why. Like, if you think that the world was created in millions of years,
Mhm.
why? Why do you think that instead of the 7 days?
Because the 7 days is a basic or a basic concept to be teaching someone instead of saying, hey, this world's a lot older. Let me give you a full story of how this world was created. It's, hey, here's a basic story that we could teach you that,
You're trying to fit in the story of creation into what we understand right now, or what evolutionists who claim they understand right now. You're trying to fit that into that. You're just trying to. That's not a solution. That's a resolution.
okay, so now
That's-
go to an atheist
Yeah.
and tell them that this world is only 6,000 years old and try convincing them of anything. Try
I'll do
making
that.
them
I'll
come to
do
faith.
that.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Good luck.
She would do that.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah.
And good luck trying to have this argument.
I mean, you could tell. I mean, the Bible says, "Go and tell what Jesus has done for you." Then you can get into the technical stuff.
Yeah, but if they don't even know who Jesus is, then that's the first question,
Then you
first
don't.
page of the Bible.
What do you mean? That's the first question.
If anyone
Oh,
ever-
like if they start throwing like anti-Christian, statements at you, or what are you saying?
No, they're just throwing questions at you.
Okay, so you're saying that it would be easier to convert people if you just jived with the modern resolution for the origin of the world?
Well, if you slowly understand what the background is, yeah.
So that's what you're saying? I want to read you the email. I want to see if this is what you believe, because you're not really articulating what you believe, and I'm not really understanding. So, just tell me if you agree or disagree, and, we'll see what happens. Okay. A student from European University posted an email message on a public internet forum in order to explain how creationists and evolutionists can make peace. I've changed the spelling and the grammar a bit to conform to standard American usage. But in substance, the message is just as this young man, whom I will call Emilio, wrote it. I've been a Christian and a creationist all my life, fiercely against evolutionism, until I started my biology course at the university and began learning about evolution. Guess what? I'm still a creationist, and now I'm also an evolutionist. It has become clear to me that the first chapter of Genesis is an allegory. If not, check how it states that there was morning and evening before the creation of the sun and the moon. An impossibility. And once we accept this, there is no reason why God could not have created all there is in as many millions of years as you wish. If God created time and space, then he is outside of it, and therefore not affected by it. Time has no meaning to God. I believe that God created the laws of physics, and therefore everything that results from such laws is God's creation. To say that the
Wait. Do you believe in that too? That God created the laws of physics?
Yes, I believe he created physics. Okay. To say that the species evolved does not deny God's act of creation, quite the opposite. Evolution is the science that studies how God created the species. Furthermore, evolutionism and creationism cannot be put in the same category, as one is of science, of the rational, and the other is of faith, of the supernatural. I am a Christian, and it offends me to see that Christians are being viewed as lame brains just because some well-intentioned but ignorant brothers of mine try to discuss such matters without scientific knowledge. Please stop. You do more harm than good. Is this what you believe?
That was really long,
Mm-hmm.
and so you kind of lost me around halfway.
But from what you did gather from this guy's little statement there,
Mhm.
do you agree with what he's saying?
Yeah, I agree. I agree that you have possibility of having both.
You agree with that?
I agree that you could believe that there is evolution, but also you can agree that God created the heavens and the earth.
Really? Do you agree that evolutionism and creationism cannot be put in the same category, as one is of science, of the rational, and the other is of faith, of the supernatural?
I didn't say that.
Okay. So you disagree with that? You disagree that one is of faith and one is of reason?
I think science helps us better interpret the Bible. They go together.
Mm-hmm.
not wrong.
Yes. We already talked about the whole days thing. And yeah, God could have, like, your hypothesis, it's a hypothesis. It's just
Yeah,
a
yours is too.
Yeah. But it says it in the Bible.
Yes, and also it says that the heart is the thing that makes us understand everything.
Okay.
And if you say that science tells us differently,
Mm-hmm. So,
tell me that.
how do I explain this? Do you think that because the word, do you think that it's used figuratively, the word day is used figuratively, that is why there's like millions of years in those days?
Oh, okay. So kind of like what you're saying is that, like, day one could be a certain amount of years, and then day two could be a certain amount of time, and day three could be a certain amount. Is that what you're trying to ask?
I'm asking, yeah, if you believe that.
Hmm.
Because that's what,
Not really.
Sorry, could you repeat that again? Sorry.
like, he says that evolution and creation can be together.
Okay.
For this, like, most of people who think that the days are like millions of years
Well-
are in those days.
Sorry. Okay.
Do you believe that? Is that what you believe?
No, I don't believe that.
Okay.
What?
So what do you believe? I'm trying to get a better understanding so I can actually debate this, but I don't actually know what I'm debating anymore.
Is your belief concrete with just the scientific understanding of the world, that the Earth is however many billions, millions of years old?
That is what I believe. Yes.
Why?
So,
Why do you need that amount of time for the world to be created?
so when you're talking about evolution, just for about anything, you're talking about from the beginning of time and how they change and develop into what they are now over those billions and millions of years. Okay. That makes more sense.
I'm asking why. Like, why do you need that much time? Why couldn't it have been like that quick? Why couldn't it have been that young?
Because if you ever want to consider any science, then how does...
No, I need like a.
Okay, so then how does any of our genetics connected to each other and make any sense if we say that somehow lions are connected to cats, but then if genetically they were never connected,
Okay. One question
Are
at
we
a
talking about evolution?
question at a time. I hope so. That's when we get into the good stuff. One question at a time. Why do you believe? Give me an answer, not a question. Why do you believe that the Earth needs that much time in order to be created? Why can't it be a young Earth? Why can't it be in a short period of time?
it can. Why is it hard for you to think that the world...
Not a question.
No,
Not
I
a-
answered my question. I answered my question.
Okay.
So now I get to ask you the question.
No. Why do you believe that it needs to be that much time?
Need is such a strong word.
It is a strong word.
That's what your theory, it needs that much time.
God
Yeah, and
didn't-
yours needs
God didn't
7
need
24-hour
to
days,
create
and the
the
world
world.
doesn't.
Because that's what the Bible says. Yeah.
Oh,
No. Let's not get off topic. You were thinking. You were formulating an answer.
Well, just thinking biblically, what else in the Bible stands for that theory?
for what?
Evolution.
Just overall, what you say.
Overall, what I'm saying is that just the people didn't understand how the world was made.
I understand that.
Yeah.
No, yeah. but that's a different topic. This is sub-genre of the main topic. The question I asked you was, you think, are your views aligned with science's views on how old the Earth is? I'm just saying, where in the Bible does any text support that?
I have a little side journey we could go down.
He was just
Wait. Before we get into it, just say, like, what it is first.
So the Bible says in Psalm 93, verse 1. I think it's the second half of it. I don't remember. It says, "Yes, the world is established; it shall never be moved." And in Psalms 104, verse 5, it says, "He set the earth on its foundation, so that it should never be moved." So people back in the day used to believe that the earth never moved. But now with scientific research and evidence, we do understand that the earth actually moves and doesn't sit on a literal foundation.
How does that have anything to do with evolution, though?
We're talking about creation right now,
Just
Adam.
science helps us better understand the Bible.
Yeah.
In the context in which that was written, I know Psalms is kind of like, goes from one thing to another all the time, so
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
probably not a lot of context, but did they mean that literally or figuratively? When they're talking about that?
People interpreted it literally for
That's
a
how
while.
they understood it. Yeah.
Right, oh, okay. So how the ancient Hebrews understood it was literally.
Mm-hmm. That's how they
That
thought.
ties in with the picture of like the
Yeah.
firmament and
So
the
that's why that picture's that, because that's what they believe that world was made.
Right, gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah, worth it. Fun. I needed to say something.
Good job, Ian.